Welcome to another episode where we dive deep into the latest in recruitment strategies, AI innovations, and HR solutions. If you're looking to elevate your hiring game and stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of talent acquisition, you're in the right place. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you never miss an episode filled with insights, expert interviews, and actionable tips to transform your recruitment approach. Stay tuned for exclusive content designed to make your hiring process smarter, faster, and more effective.
All right, so you're thinking about joining a startup, not just as another engineer, though, right?
Yeah.
You want to be a founding engineer.
Definitely.
You want to be there from the very beginning and building the foundation.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different ball game than just coding.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about shaping the entire tech landscape of a company from scratch.
Yeah, it's high stakes,
Oh, yeah.
but it's also incredibly high impact.
For sure.
And, in a field as competitive as this,
Yeah.
having a stellar resume can really be your secret weapon.
It makes sense because we're going to unpack what makes a founding engineer resume different.
Yeah.
It's not just about showing off your coding skills.
It's not just that.
It's about demonstrating leadership and the ability to make an impact.
Exactly.
And that you have that entrepreneurial spirit that early stage companies are always looking for.
That's spot on.
Yeah. So a founding engineer isn't just writing lines of code.
Yeah.
They're building the very DNA of a company's tech.
Yeah.
And that requires a very unique blend of skills and experience.
Right.
Okay, so let's start with the tech skills.
Sure.
I know those are absolutely essential,
Of course.
but I'm guessing that the specific skills that a startup looks for
Yeah.
can vary a lot, right?
Absolutely, you're right.
Yeah.
A fintech startup is going to have a different set of priorities than, say, a gaming company.
Totally.
Yeah, that
Great.
makes sense.
But there are some core technical skills that are almost universally in demand.
Okay, so hit me with some of those must-have tech skills,
Okay.
but break it down for me.
All right, so let's start with programming languages.
Okay.
JavaScript, Python, Go. These are always popular choices.
Yeah.
But keep an eye on Rust, especially for back-end systems.
Okay.
It's designed for performance and reliability, which is crucial for startups that need to scale quickly.
That makes sense.
Plus, Rust's focus on memory safety can actually help prevent those annoying bugs that can slow down development,
Yeah.
which is a huge time saver for a startup.
Huge. Yeah.
Okay, Rust. Interesting. Okay, I'm taking notes.
Good.
What about cloud platforms?
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing those are pretty important too.
These days, most startups live and breathe in the cloud.
Right.
So being comfortable with platforms like AWS or GCP is practically a given.
Yeah.
You need to be able to build and deploy systems efficiently in these environments.
Okay, so far so good.
All right.
Now, for someone who isn't, neck deep in code every day,
Sure.
could you tell me what to look for when it comes to data technologies
Yeah.
on a founding engineer resume?
So it depends on the specific company, of course, but a strong foundation in databases is always a plus.
Okay,
Both SQL and NoSQL databases are important.
gotcha.
And then there's Elasticsearch, which is fantastic for startups.
Okay.
It's powerful for search and analytics, allowing startups to really understand their users and make those data-driven decisions.
So Elasticsearch is good for...
Yeah, for search and analytics,
Okay.
really understanding their users and, making smart decisions based on that data. And speaking of building adaptable systems, having experience with microservice architectures is a huge plus.
Hold on, let's back up for a second.
Sure.
I'm hearing all this jargon, Elasticsearch, microservice architectures.
Yeah,
I'm getting a little lost.
sure.
Can you explain why these things are so crucial for a startup success?
Yeah, think about it this way. Startups need to grow fast, right?
Right.
They need to handle a lot of users,
Yeah.
process tons of data,
For sure.
be able to adapt quickly.
Makes sense.
These technologies are the building blocks for doing all of that efficiently.
Okay.
Elasticsearch, for example, allows the startup to analyze massive amounts of user data.
Okay.
So they can see what features people are using, where they're getting stuck, what they're searching for.
Right.
That's invaluable information for a young company.
Yeah, for sure.
And microservice architectures make systems more flexible and scalable.
Yeah.
So as the startup grows, They can easily add new features and handle more users without the whole system falling apart.
That makes a lot more sense now.
Mm.
So it's not just about knowing these technologies.
It's not just about knowing them.
It's about understanding how they can be used to solve real business problems for a startup.
Exactly. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Even with all of these amazing technical skills, a founding engineer needs something more to truly stand out.
Okay.
It's not just about being a great coder.
Right.
It's about being a leader, a builder,
Okay.
someone who can drive real impact.
So you're saying that a founding engineer needs to be more than just a coder.
Precisely, while technical skills are the foundation.
Okay.
What really sets a founding engineer apart is their ability to lead projects, build teams,
Okay.
make a tangible difference in a company's trajectory.
I can see how that's different from being a fantastic coder on a larger, more established team.
Right.
So in a startup, you're wearing many hats,
Absolutely.
and leadership becomes even more critical.
Yeah.
So how does a founding engineer showcase that leadership ability on their resume?
One of the best ways is to highlight projects you've led from start to finish.
Okay.
Not just contributing a small piece to a bigger project,
Yeah.
but taking ownership and seeing something through from conception to execution.
Okay.
This shows potential employers that you can take initiative, solve problems independently,
Okay.
and think about the big picture.
That makes sense. It shows that you're not just taking orders.
Yeah.
You're a driver.
Or a driver.
Okay, now what about system design and architecture?
Mm-hmm.
Can you actually demonstrate those skills on a resume?
Absolutely. You can mention specific design patterns you've implemented, architectural choices you've made,
Okay.
and the reasons behind those decisions.
Gotcha.
For instance, you could say, designed and implemented a microservice architecture for X project, resulting in an improved scalability and reduced downtime.
Mm-hmm.
So you're demonstrating a deeper level of understanding of how systems work and how to build them for success.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
You mentioned building teams earlier.
I did.
And this kind of begs the question, does a founding engineer also need to be a hiring manager?
Not necessarily in a formal sense.
Okay.
However, showcasing experience in building mentoring
Okay.
or even assisting with hiring decisions can be incredibly valuable on a resume.
So it shows that you're thinking bigger picture.
Exactly. It demonstrates that you're thinking about the bigger picture of team development
Okay.
and that you're ready to contribute to building a strong engineering culture from the start.
So it's not just about writing the code yourself. It's about building the team
Right.
that will help you write the code and create something truly innovative.
Exactly. And that brings us to the next crucial element of a standout founding engineer resume,
Okay.
showcasing concrete results and achievements.
All right, let's talk about results.
Let's do it.
Because anyone can say they're good at these things, but how do you actually prove it on a resume?
You're spot on. What separates a good resume from a great one is quantifiable achievements.
Okay.
That's where metrics come in.
Okay.
Anyone can make claims, but numbers don't lie.
Oh, okay, I'm intrigued. Give me some examples of how to use metrics effectively on a resume.
Let's say you reduced server downtime by 40%.
Okay.
For a startup that relies on its platform being up and running, that's a huge win.
Yeah,
Demonstrates a direct impact on the business.
makes sense.
Or you could say scaled the system to handle 1M plus users.
Okay.
In the startup world, that million user milestone is a significant achievement.
Yeah.
Showing that you were part of that is impressive.
So it's about painting a picture of your impact
Yes.
using numbers. I like it.
Yes.
But what about things that are harder to measure?
Sure.
Like what if you helped launch a new product? Does that matter too?
Absolutely. Launching a product, even a minimum viable product or MVP,
Okay.
shows that you can deliver tangible results.
Okay.
It demonstrates that you can take an idea and turn it into something real.
That makes sense.
And if you can highlight smart tech stack choices that led to cost savings or improved performance during that product launch,
Right.
that's even better.
So it's not just about what you did, it's about why you made certain choices and what impact those choices had on the business.
Precisely. And that leads us to what I like to call the X factor of a founding engineer resume,
I like it.
showcasing strategic thinking and leadership that goes beyond just technical prowess.
Okay, I'm all ears. What exactly is this X factor?
Okay.
What separates a good engineer from a truly outstanding founding engineer?
It's about demonstrating that you're not just coding what you're told. You're thinking like a business owner.
Okay.
You understand the company's goals.
Yeah,
And you make decisions that contribute to achieving those goals.
makes sense.
Did your work directly align with key business objectives? Did you make strategic choices that impacted the company's bottom line?
Okay.
These are the things that you want to highlight.
So it's about connecting the dots between your work as an engineer
Yeah,
and the bigger picture of the company's success.
exactly. And then there's the element of mentorship and culture building.
Mm-hmm.
Did you shape the engineering team's values? Did you mentor other engineers and help them grow? Startups care deeply about creating a strong and positive engineering culture.
Right.
So highlighting your contributions in this area can make a huge difference.
So it's like you're not just an engineer, you're like a mini CEO
Yeah,
of the tech side of the startup.
kind of, yeah.
But how do you actually capture all of this on a resume?
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about bullet points that say things like
Right.
successfully mentored junior developers while also understanding the nuances of the business?
Well, not quite that literally, but it is about framing your experiences in a way that reflects ownership and accountability.
Okay.
For example, instead of simply saying implemented feature X,
Okay.
you could say took ownership of developing and launching feature X, resulting in a Y% increase in user engagement.
So it's not about listing tasks. It's about telling the story of your impact.
Exactly.
Using strong action verbs. I like it.
I like it.
But before we get carried away with our newfound storytelling skills,
Right.
can we talk about some practical tips for polishing the resume itself? I mean, the content is important, but the presentation matters too, right?
Yeah, of course. Now that we've covered the content, let's talk about presentation.
Okay.
And trust me, when it comes to founding engineer resumes, conciseness is key.
Oh, thank goodness.
You want to keep it clear to the point
Okay.
and laser focused on the most relevant skills and experiences.
Okay, good, because my college resume was 5 pages long.
Oh, wow.
I think I listed every Microsoft Word skill I'd ever encountered.
We've all been there.
Okay, good.
But for a founding engineer resume, brevity is your best friend.
So no need to list every technology I've ever touched, just the ones that really matter.
Exactly.
For this specific role. I've done.
Exactly. Instead of a laundry list of every programming language or tool you've ever used,
Okay.
focus on the skills that align with the specific startup that you're targeting.
Okay.
And remember, your objective statement is prime real estate.
Ah, yes, the dreaded objective statement.
Yeah.
Mike usually says something incredibly generic, like seeking a challenging role where I can utilize my skills.
You and everyone else.
Okay.
No more generic summaries.
Okay.
For a founding engineer role, you need to show passion and a genuine desire to build, scale, and innovate within a startup environment.
I see.
Tailor your objective statement to the specific company and its mission.
Okay.
Let them know why you're excited about what they are doing.
Okay, so no more generic summaries.
Yeah,
Got it.
got it.
What about formatting? Any tips there?
Keep it clean, visually appealing, and easy to read.
Okay.
Bullet points are your best friend here.
Gotcha.
Use strong action verbs to describe your accomplishments and quantify your achievements whenever possible.
Okay.
Remember, numbers can be very powerful.
All right, so we're talking impactful content,
Yes.
clear formatting,
Yes.
and a dash of passion.
A dash of passion.
Sounds like a good recipe for a standout resume.
It is. Your resume is your first impression.
Yeah.
It needs to tell a compelling story that showcases not only your technical skills, but also your leadership potential,
Oh.
your ability to make a real impact, and your passion for the world of startups.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great point. It's not just about listing skills. It's about telling the story of your potential as a founding engineer.
Exactly. And we're going to get into a lot more detail about how to tell that story
Oh, great.
in this deep dive.
Let's do it. That's such a great point.
Yeah.
It's not just about listing skills. It's about telling the story of your potential as a founding engineer.
Yeah.
But let's get even more specific.
Okay.
I'm sure there are tons of little nuances that can really make a resume shine. I know we have some resources from experienced founders and recruiters
Yeah,
for this deep dive.
we do.
What are some of the key insights they've shared about what makes a founding engineer resume stand out?
One of the things that comes up consistently is the importance of something called type safety,
Type safety.
especially in the context of founding engineer.
Okay, type safety. Is that like making sure you don't spill coffee on your keyboard? Because that's a type of safety I'm very familiar with.
Well, it's important too,
Okay.
but not quite what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Tape safety is all about using programming languages or frameworks that are designed to catch errors early on in the development process.
Okay.
Think of it as a way to prevent bugs before they even have a chance to cause problems.
Ah, I see. So it's about writing cleaner, more robust code from the start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about preventing bugs, it's also about ensuring that the code is maintainable and scalable in the long run.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can see why that would be especially important for a startup
Right.
where, every line of code is precious.
Exactly. So using languages like Rust or TypeScript, which have strong type systems, can be a major advantage for startups.
Okay.
They're investing in a solid foundation for their tech.
So it's not just about what you build, but how you build it.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What else do our sources have to say about standing out as a founding engineer?
Well, another point that's emphasized repeatedly is the importance of understanding the startup's specific needs.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Different companies, different challenges, different tech stacks.
Right.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example, a startup focused on machine learning might prioritize experience with frameworks like TensorFlow or PyTorch.
Okay.
If that's the case, you'd want to make sure your resume highlights your experience with those specific technologies.
That makes sense.
Do your research understand what the company is building and what challenges they're facing?
Okay.
And then tailor your resume to show how your skills and experiences directly align with their needs.
So tailoring your resume is key.
Definitely.
No generic spray and pray approach here.
Definitely. Remember, you're not just trying to get an Y job.
Right.
You're trying to become a founding engineer at a specific company.
Gotcha.
You need to show them why you're the perfect fit.
Okay, so let's say you've done your research.
Mm-hmm.
You've tailored your resume. You've highlighted those essential tech skills.
Yeah.
Your leadership experience,
Mhm.
those quantifiable achievements.
Right.
Is there anything else you can do to make your application really shine?
Here's where things get even more interesting.
Ooh.
A few of our sources talk about the importance of showcasing your involvement in specific tech stack decisions.
Wait, so it's not enough to just say you're familiar with AWS or GCP.
Right.
You have to show how you've used them strategically to solve problems.
Yes.
And make a real impact.
You got it. Did you choose a particular database because it was the most cost-effective solution for the startup?
Okay.
Did you implement a new caching system that significantly improved the performance of the application?
Okay.
These are the kinds of details that demonstrate a deeper understanding of the technology.
Gotcha.
And more importantly, your ability to make strategic decisions that benefit the business.
So it's about showing that you're not just a code monkey who blindly follows instructions.
Right.
You're thinking critically about the best tools and technologies for the job.
Yeah.
And you're making decisions that align with the company's overall goals.
Exactly. And another thing our sources emphasized is the importance of highlighting your contributions to the engineering culture.
Ah, culture. That elusive but absolutely essential ingredient
Yes,
for any successful startup.
it is.
But how do you showcase something as intangible as culture on a resume?
Right.
So like you could list culture enthusiast as a skill.
Right. You can't just slap a label on it.
Right.
But you can demonstrate your contributions through concrete examples.
Oh.
Did you mentor junior developers? Did you contribute to open source projects?
Right.
Did you advocate for best practices within the team? Did you help create a more inclusive and collaborative environment?
Okay.
These are all ways to show that you're not just a lone wolf coder,
Mm-hmm.
but someone who cares about building a strong and positive engineering team.
So it's about showing that you understand the importance of teamwork mentorship
Yes.
and creating a positive and productive work environment.
Absolutely.
These are qualities that any startup would value
Yes,
in a founding engineer.
for sure. And don't forget about those all-important soft skills like communication, problem solving, and adaptability.
Okay.
These are essential for any founding engineer who will be facing constant challenges and unknowns.
So it's like the trifecta tech skills leadership experience
Mm-hmm.
and a deep understanding of startup culture.
Yeah.
Sounds like a tall order.
It is, but remember, you don't have to be perfect in every area.
Okay.
The key is to highlight your strengths
Okay.
and show that you're eager to learn, grow, and adapt alongside the company.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
But what about those of us who might not have a ton of prior startup experience?
Yeah,
Can you still land a founding engineer role
absolutely.
without having that,
Yeah.
done that background?
One of our sources addresses this directly and suggests that even if your experience comes from larger, more established companies,
Okay.
you can still frame it in a way that highlights relevant skills and that entrepreneurial spirit that startups love.
So even if you haven't officially worked at a startup before,
Right.
you can still showcase your entrepreneurial mindset and potential.
Exactly. Think back to your previous roles. Did you ever take full ownership of a project from start to finish?
Mm-hmm.
Did you mentor other engineers? Did you make decisions that had a positive impact on the team's efficiency or productivity?
Okay.
These are all valuable experiences that you can translate into a startup context.
Okay, that's a great tip. It's about reframing your past to tell the story
Yes.
of your future potential as a founding engineer. I like it.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to let your passion for the startup world shine through.
I'm definitely getting the sense that passion is a big deal here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the paycheck.
It's not.
It's about believing in the company's mission
It is.
and being genuinely excited about building something new and innovative.
You're absolutely right. Founding engineers are often driven by a desire to solve challenging problems,
Yeah.
make a real impact, and be part of a team that's changing the world.
I like it.
That passion is contagious, and it
Okay,
shows.
so let's fast forward a bit.
Okay.
Let's say you've got the skills,
Yeah.
the experience, the passion you crafted, the perfect resume,
Mm-hmm.
and you've landed the interview.
Yes.
What are some tips for acing that founding engineer interview?
Well, that's a topic for another deep dive, but I can give you a little sneak peek.
Oh, do tell. I'm already hooked.
One of the most important things to remember in a founding engineer interview is to showcase your ability to think strategically
Okay.
and to solve problems creatively.
So it's not just about regurgitating technical knowledge.
It's not just about that.
It's about demonstrating your thought process
It is.
and your ability to tackle those unexpected challenges that inevitably pop up
Yes,
in a startup environment.
exactly. Be prepared to discuss your approach to system design, your ability to handle ambiguity,
Okay.
and your vision for the company's tech future.
Gotcha.
They want to see how you think, how you approach problems, and how you can contribute to building something truly innovative.
Okay, so it's like a mini masterclass in founding engineer thinking.
Right.
I'm starting to see why landing this role is so competitive.
It definitely is, but don't let that discourage you.
Right.
With the right preparation and mindset, you can absolutely ace that interview and land your dream job.
Speaking of preparation, I'm feeling way more prepared to tackle my own founding engineer resume now,
Oh, good.
thanks to all these great insights from our sources.
You're welcome.
But before we wrap up,
Sure.
can we circle back to our sources for a minute?
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear more about what they have to say about the actual content and structure
Okay.
of the resume itself.
One thing that really stands out is the importance of crafting a tailored objective statement.
Right, we touched on that earlier.
We did.
No more generic summaries.
No.
It's about showing passion and a genuine interest in the company.
Exactly. Your objective statement should be a concise and compelling snapshot of your skills, experience, and passion for the company's mission. It's your chance to make a strong first impression and show them why you're excited about their specific company
Okay.
and the problems they're solving.
Okay, so instead of saying something vague like seeking a challenging role,
Right.
I should say something more like passionate software engineer with experience in X, Y, and Z, eager to contribute to company name's mission of,
Exactly.
and then fill in the blank with something specific to that company.
Make it specific, make it relevant, and make it personal.
Gotcha.
They want to see that you've done your research and that you're genuinely interested in what they're doing.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What else do our sources have to say about crafting a winning resume?
Well, another point that comes up repeatedly is the importance of focusing on your most relevant skills and experiences.
So no need to list every programming language I've ever dabbled in,
No.
just the ones that align with the company's
Absolutely.
needs.
Precisely choose the skills that align with the company's needs and highlight them prominently.
Okay.
And remember, quantifiable achievements are your best friend.
All right, we talked about the power of numbers earlier.
They did.
Reduce server downtime by 40% is much more impactful than just saying improved server stability.
Exactly. And one final tip from our sources.
Okay.
Keep your resume concise and easy to read.
So no 5-page epics.
No.
Bullet points are our friends.
Absolutely. Use strong action verbs, quantify your achievements whenever possible, and don't forget to proofread carefully.
Okay.
You want to make sure your resume is polished and professional.
Okay, so it's a combination of impactful content, clear formatting, and a touch of genuine passion.
It is.
Sounds like a recipe for success.
It is. And remember, your resume is just the first step in the journey.
Right. There's still the interview to conquer.
That's right.
But for now, I'm feeling a lot more confident about putting my best foot forward.
That's great.
Thanks to all these great insights from our sources, I'm ready to revamp my resume and start applying for those dream founding engineer roles.
That's fantastic to hear and remember. The most important thing is to be authentic and to let your genuine passion shine through.
That's great advice. I'm feeling super inspired to revamp my own resume with all these tips in mind. But before we wrap up completely,
Yeah.
I think we have time for one last nugget of wisdom from our expert.
Okay.
What's that final thought you want to leave our listeners with as they embark on this exciting journey of becoming a founding engineer?
You know what's fascinating about this whole process?
Yeah.
It's not just about landing the job.
Right.
It's about, it's also about a journey of self-discovery.
Okay.
It's about figuring out if you truly want to be a founding engineer.
Okay.
It's a demanding role. It's chaotic.
Yeah.
It can be incredibly stressful at times.
For sure.
But it can also be one of the most rewarding experiences
Yeah.
of your career.
Totally.
So as you're crafting that resume,
Yeah.
ask yourself,
Mm-hmm.
does the story I'm telling reflect the kind of company I want to build?
Okay.
Does this align with my values and my vision for the future?
Ooh, that's deep. So it's like a self-discovery journey
Yeah.
woven into the job hunt itself.
Exactly, because when your passion and the company's mission truly align,
Yeah,
that's when the magic happens.
that makes sense.
And that genuine excitement, that shared vision, it comes across even on a piece of paper.
I love it. So to all our aspiring founding engineers out there, update those resumes, embrace the chaos, and go build something amazing.
And remember, we'll be here to guide you every step of the way.
That's right. We'll be back soon with more deep dives into the world of startups and tech. Until then, happy building.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest episodes and exclusive content designed to enhance your recruitment strategies.